I love that word, insurmountable.
Insurmountable problems.
Oh my God, insurmountable.
Our first problem is Verb forgot his charger for his laptop.
Fucking not lapelification. You know what it is.
The second problem is I forgot my lapel mic that I always used to record.
I get it.
And now this is the resort, guys.
We literally
You know what? We bought these phones for a reason. Now this is a podcast mic. For you people that say I can't start a podcast at home.
But I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm proud of Verb, man. He showcased that he has a degree in sound. How
He worked hard, eh?
But it took me, that would have been a fail. It took me probably a whole 30 minutes to figure out how to.
Why did you get that degree? You need to release some music or something, or you need to host
That's
a
the
concert.
thing, it's not for music. People think sound. just
I know
because
it's not
study
for
sound
music.
is
You're an
good.
engineer. I know
Who
there's a
went like
difference.
that?
I do know there's a difference.
Who went like
What
that?
was it for? What was the
Who went
vision?
like that?
Yeah. When you went to apply with CAO, you remember CAO? Hey.
Honestly, man, I just wanted something in the creative field. And the thing in our, in our time. But in that time, there wasn't really, there wasn't that much options, you know? Kuzmut was obviously dancing and stuff. There wasn't anything that was close to it. There's nothing that was like, okay, you can go and study dance. The only thing that was close to it was actually sound, or close to entertainment was sound.
You could have actually done film. Because you're doing more film now than you ever thought you would.
True. But we didn't know. Did you know about it? Did
No, there
anything in
was.
secondary say anything about film?
Now, when you're taking it there...
Everything doesn't speak of film.
No, when you take it, the schools we went to is get something that's gonna give you some form of paper.
Exactly.
It had nothing to do with
Exactly.
all this creative stuff. Yeah. And it's so funny that when I used to do film when I was still in high school, people used to look at me like I'm,
Yeah, it was
you're
weird.
dumb. It was like,
Especially with the cameras are weird. Was the thing where you gotta flap it like this.
Yeah. But it wasn't that. I think it was the mindset. You know, when people look at you like they can see a future.
Yeah.
Like this guy's gonna be a failure.
I want to hold the camera.
Yeah, it's like,
I want to do movies.
He's dancing, he's traveling with his friends, he's always doing DVDs, he's recording. This guy's going to be a failure. Why everybody was like, no, I'm going to be a software engineer, I'm going to be an accountant.
Hey,
now,
you are
the same people are now calling you, hey, bro, I need to get my brand out there. What type of content?
Oh, hey, I'm getting married.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Even with my subjects, just a question, a quick one. My subjects are just friends that I all smashed up together. Did they help you afterwards?
Man,
Well, LO played its part.
the what?
Life orientation.
Actually,
It
about life orientation, there's issues. Speaking to someone in education, there's issues with LO. A lot of kids are actually failing LO or are not understanding LO. The whole
no,
purpose.
Sarge. That used to be our favorite period.
Let me tell you what.
Bro, I remember we actually chose what work we wanted in LO, but anyway.
But that's the problem. That's the problem. People take LO lightly. LO is supposed to teach you life skills. It's supposed to teach you like manners, responsibilities, all those kind of things that kind of shape you as a person in society.
Sure,
but when we think of LO, we think PE.
Yeah. Actually, that's so true. That's so true because you know that's free time for you.
Literally.
Okay, we used to have debates, heated debates in our LO class.
Is it?
Yeah, because of the type of school we went to, the type of teacher, a lot of political stuff, a lot of racial stuff. What? Yeah, when you guys left, you guys were in. We were.
Y'all having a good time, man.
No, not always. No, we were on the news because we were striking because of racism. That's not a good time.
Hey,
think about it.
Effingham got crazy, man.
Yeah.
Effingham got crazy. I was actually thinking about how with Effingham, we never fully understood that there was like beef between the races, between the blacks and the Indians. We thought it was just that.
I think after you all left, I don't know what heightened it, but it was just.
It
was
crazy,
just blatant, man. And it was just there. Shada,
Hey,
how was school for you?
It's different.
Yeah, it's different.
What?
That's what I'll say. It was
A battle.
How was school a battle? But you guys were living soft life there.
I remember her though. She would cry about her school though. But like it was bad. Like it was.
So what was the battle?
I think just like the complete disregard of the way that people were discriminated against.
Yeah, that's
And
always
like
a problem.
it would be small things, and you know the conversations of like, oh no, you're born free, you don't know anything about that, or I'm not to blame, that whole thing, that's fine. But yeah, I think overall you know, you look at certain people in certain positions, you'll say you're privileged because you are able to enter a certain space, but it's like you don't know the things that you go through in that specific space.
Amen.
Yeah, I think it's different.
I had one of my kids that I teach. Not one actually. On Monday, they were trying to figure out my age, right?
Oh, snap.
So that's always fun.
Yeah.
But until one of them started being an investigator and somehow found out what my age was. But they were trying to calculate, okay, if you went to high school, when you met the director of the company that I teach at, like if you met her, maybe when you just finished high school, you know, you're probably around that age. And they're like, wait, what high school did you go to? Maybe we can figure out and see, like online, probably you there for dancing and stuff. I'm like, hey, guess which school I went to? And like, Michael House.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
I'll be honest, I get that all the time. For me, you know what happened? It's the hey, no, man, I'm sure I've seen you play rugby.
That's what they said. They're like, Verb, you definitely played rugby, right? I'm like, nah, I've never played rugby. And then the other one's like, nah, Hilton, definitely Hilton. It's in a Hilton. I'm just like,
Now you have to tell them where you went.
I didn't, bro. I did. Then I said, guys, I went to Slanga College. They're like, nah, no ways. It wasn't built by then.
Oh, these kids are smart.
Getting called out.
Wait, how old are these kids?
They were like age 9, 10, 11. Yeah.
How do they know? I didn't know anything about that. What was built and not built.
Yeah, no, like, I don't know
It's because some of them go to rhythm now. It's called rhythm. Yeah, some of them do.
It's quite new shape.
They're like, I know, like, they can't be. It wasn't built.
Yeah, that's
and there's a
amazing.
high chance that they're right because I don't remember hearing of Umhlanga College.
No, I always have to end up saying which school I went to because usually when that starts, you know, around the... No, you've seen him before, right? Guys, wait, before it even goes further, I just...
I went to Effing.
I went to Effing.
Like, why are you swearing your school?
Well, that's the first one. Where's that?
Man.
Where's that? Now I have to explain. It's in Effing. Where's Effing?
Yeah, I know, man.
School.
We're hectic. We just... People... It's because of how maybe people like conduct themselves. And I think it goes back to the thing I was saying, Muti. LO isn't just obviously LO later on.
Yeah.
Like just life skills, how to talk, how to communicate to people and those kind of things.
But to cut you off in terms of like how you talk, I remember how we were talking, Vince. Like we were talking, so it's like, Calvin, which school did you go to?
And you went to DHS.
And I'm like,
No, Northwood.
like,
Northwood.
Uba.
Kawe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, which school you go? Like you went to, and I'm like, it's Hillview. Where's Hillview? It's like, my guy. I don't know your gender, but George Campbell. I'm like, it's because I chose like how I literally like speak. I chose not to say, bro, listen here, man. Come over here, we're chill. We're gonna go to our Kali later on.
But why is that a problem also? Like, I always get pissed off about it. Like when people downplay you because of how you talk. Especially if maybe, but I'm not even gonna call it an accent. Like let's say the way that you pronounce
certain words.
Yeah. You know, they already have this idea of this is the kind of person you are because you sound like this.
It's because people are shallow, and it's so sad. I hate it because they usually do that to our uncles and aunts because of the education that they had. Like, my mom is not going to have perfect English, but she's a smart, wise woman that is more than capable to do anything. And I think it's the saddest thing because people are shallow. People don't want to actually look at your intelligence. They want to listen to how you speak to determine your value, your worth, what school you went to, and then be able to say, oh, yeah, I'm sure you went to Crawford or et cetera, et cetera. But I think it's just a representation of society. People are just shallow. If they want to determine how smart you are, especially I think because of our history, based on how you pronounce words and how you do things and say things. You can't. So what ends up happening is that they look at our moms and Koko Betu that don't speak English is like, oh, they're just stupid. Koko, they should be working in our house, etc.
On the other end, if you do speak well, it's like you're not black or you're not part of the community. It's like
why are you trying to be?
Hey, it's like if you do speak well, manje. When are you not?
It's Albany best of both. It's unfortunate there's no middle line because on one side, the people that are here don't believe Guti they can also live a certain standard of life. So now, but they also identify how well you do based on how good you speak. That's why you find that scammers, they look shiny, just speak well.
Exactly.
They don't need to know, man.
But it's because they know how you need to get into certain places. Like there's a certain way in which you need to speak and present yourself.
No, did you hear the English? Huh? No, he's educated. This one.
The first time we actually threw that up the window in terms of knowing English and not knowing English determines the kind of intelligence that you have, whatever. When I saw Cristiano Ronaldo, the first time it got to freaking Manchester United, that guy didn't know jack of English whatsoever. He was shy man. He was stringing his freaking words together. Like, hey, there, like he did. But then take that, bring it back to South Africa.
But their cultural context is different, per se. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get it's a good point.
But at the same time,
but it's also highlighting how far behind we are.
Exactly.
What you're saying,
because there are certain people that choose to speak Zulu than English. Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to get so pissed when my dad would walk into a shop and just screech in Zulu, because I was too young to understand that he was just trying to, teach them other ways of communicating. But I would feel embarrassed because I was also brought up in that mindset of your English determines how well you do.
Mina, okay. I get what you guys on that point again about the whole, like, let's say you're in an environment and people maybe speak IsiZulu, right? Mina, I feel personally as a way of respect of the fact that we're all in the same environment, you should speak a language that person probably will understand, which is English. And we need to just come to the point and understand, Uti, unfortunately, it is a universal language. Unfortunately, it's the one language that almost everybody in South Africa knows. So why don't we communicate in that instantly, especially if you're meeting up with maybe someone of a different race? And I understand, and I'm Zulu that often do this. I got Zulu speaking people are the ones that often do this, and it's understandable. Like, we take pride in our culture, we take pride in our language, which is really great. But at the same time, like, I think it's just showing a certain level of respect towards the other person as well.
I'm there, but I'm mostly not there. I'll tell you why. Go to every other African country in Africa. If you go to Zimbabwe, the white people or other people that are not natives, they speak Shona. If you go to Kenya, the people that are not from there, they speak Swahili. Because of their history, they knew that if they want to integrate with the culture and what's happening in the space, we need to learn the language. In South Africa, it just comes from a place of privilege of, we don't need to listen to your music, we don't need to learn your culture, we don't need to learn your language, we don't mingle in the same spaces. I don't have to know a word of whatever is said. In fact, I'll go to places and people will just start speaking Afrikaans. Now, I must feel uncomfortable, but I've been in office spaces where they tell me that I can't speak Zulu because we can't hear, but they can speak their own Afrikaans. So I want to balance it. I want to balance it in a sense that from a universal point of view, I definitely do agree. We all need to communicate and it mustn't be disrespectful. We all need to understand each other. So I understand.
And also in a South African point of view.
But in the full context of IsiZulu, not really, because when I go to Joburg in certain areas, sometimes they'll speak IsiZulu, and now I have to try and find out.
Joburg must forget about it. We get there, we speak IsiZulu.
Go to Free State. No, that's the thing. Go to Free State. Go to Limpopo. They're not going to speak IsiZulu. They'll speak their language, and you have to try and find out and ask or because they also understand that if you're in our space, try and learn the language. If you really don't know it, they'll meet you halfway. So that we used to Joburg KZN, no. If you go to Free State, they will speak Afrikaans. If you go to different spaces.
even maybe probably even Cape Town is like that.
Exactly.
Because even like just adding on to that, when you come to like the space and have to like learn the language or whatever the case is. When you go to Japan, you see like interviews. When you go to these guys interviewing like people in the streets about Japan or whatever, and all of them are saying the same thing about the fact that when you get to Japan, you need to learn the language.
Mina, my issue is that, but those people got it right in the beginning. That's
Okay,
my issue, is that our history and everything that happened before that, if we do it now, we sound more like people that are that we're just trying to pick a fight. But if it was something that Versa at the beginning in history, it was like that. Whoever there were the leaders was saying that themselves. But you in KZN, you need to be speaking Zulu, you need to learn it. But because they conformed and they went, I'm gonna learn English.
Yeah. But they did do that. The first letters that came in had to learn the language. That's why they had interpreters. Then eventually they'll have his Fanara law and they'll try that. And then eventually, from a war perspective, we lost the war. You understand? So it wasn't a thing of Guti, just do what you want. It was a thing of, at first it was like that. Then jumper because they had guns. They had guns. We won a couple of wars, but at the end of the day they had guns, and then obviously after some time with Mkonto, then they established whatever economies and stuff that they had to establish, and that's how it changed. So I'm just saying, in the long run, the conversation wasn't supposed to be like that. But from an advantage point of view, bro, if you don't need to go buy bread at a certain place and you stay on top of a hill, I don't need to learn how you buy bread and what's the price and what's the language. It is what it is. But on the overall context, we always have to be in a space where people aren't feeling uncomfortable. We must all understand each other. That's the problem with South Africa. It's never a one straight answer. Because what you're saying is right, but also the full
I don't even know how we got
history.
into this, because this topic is always
it's
this
but
topic,
it's not a bad thing.
every time this topic pops up for me, I'm always like,
I'm not, because
I don't like that's one you see that?
but it's dead now. It used to be quite crazy, guys.
but
now I
Because
think,
now it's like, hey, my guy.
no, it's dead.
well, it's not dead.
It's still there.
No, it's still there in people's homes. Like the people that do gardens and No, it's recording. It's just pausing. No, don't press it. Don't press it. It's moving. It's moving. No.
By the way, man,
Wow.
We're on some other stuff. Fanagalo is still there. It's just not as widespread in the environments that we're in. But if you go to someone's home and you speak to the gardener, they speak in Fanagalo to them.
There was a company that would add.
But
There was a million guy that would just scream Fanagalo.
See, that's the thing. Where do we draw the line?
Kelvin Tata,
And also,
I'm like, hey, bro, like, what's happening? No, Kelvin was a line. I'm like, Jesus.
No, we need to set the standards too. What do we want? As much as, what's been done and said.
But that's what I'm saying, Mutmina. That's what I'm saying. I feel like the solution is English.
No, let's meet each other halfway.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day,
solution is
the
English
death
for
of
you, bro.
languages
Okay.
is a thing.
Wait. If we a city, there's a high chance that Amatamaningi in South Africa do know how to speak English. Am I right or wrong?
You're right.
Right?
but IsiZulu is actually not far off. Zulu is the second most spoken and understood language in South Africa.
Okay.
I'm not saying Zulu must dominate.
Let's say
I'm just making an example.
KZN. How about in KZN? Now, with amongst all the races, how about in KZN? I don't think so. I don't think IsiZulu is up there.
It is.
In terms of other races, why is it then when we meet someone that's a different race, that could mean Zulu, we do get shocked with that person actually understands?
In terms of other races, that is the problem.
That's the problem.
No, we can't fix it.
We made an effort because of the spaces that we want to enter to learn English, right?
Yes.
Because we want to communicate and we want to do certain things. So if you have the desire to do something and it's going to benefit you, you're going to do it. So we need to, I'm not saying
but the another thing is that,
racist,
unfortunately, I feel like there isn't really much of a benefit. Because as you were saying, Muti, that was the boss that spoke like that. When you... Unfortunately, you'll be working for someone. You want to learn Isingisi so that you can work in a certain environment. If Zulu-speaking people had the companies and the businesses, I feel like other people would be forced to learn how to speak that language, because in the workspace, that language is being spoken.
But that's not the context of how it broke down. So you need to go back to the roots of how it broke down. Then we can come back as to why people do need to learn it in the first place. This is more about community than it is about economics. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is about economics right now. But the language itself, the reason why languages need to be preserved is because you don't preserve a language. You preserve customs, culture, the way Ukoko is to do things, the way you respect, the way you behave. The way that's why these kids that only know IsiNgisi, when they go to family gatherings, it's embarrassing, not because of a language problem, but because of a social, cultural
can't
context
translate
problem.
everything, yeah.
So a language comes with a lot of things that are deeply rooted in history. What happens is 2 generations down the line, everybody is speaking IsiNgisi. It's okay. If you want to raise your family like that, I need to be subjective. It's okay. Anybody can do that. But from a space of, from a cultural point of view and understanding how things are supposed to play out, you lose so much. Because language just holds a lot of the things that are passed down from one generation to another generation.
Yeah.
So that's one. 2, it's not a bad conversation and it's not a fearful conversation, because what's happening now is that it's just South Africa is just a full bottle. And what's happening is that it's going to implode one way or another. We, the generation that has to take the conversations, pull out of its hole, so long as it's coming from a positive context, and then we can speak about it. It's not coming from a place of hate or a place of etc. etc. Then I know then it can get out of hand. But if it's coming from a place of having forward-thinking conversations that can benefit everybody in the room and everybody else listening, I don't think they're bad. Although at first they are cringy. Should we? Shouldn't we? No, we should.
I hate Inzi, man. I don't think that's one of the hardest things to tackle. But anyways, man, I know this week is going to be kind of exciting and nice. Whenever it's popping up in some creatives there. Whatever. Again!
Oh, this guy's getting arrested all the time.
What's happening?
Oh, guys, I just remembered something.
Yeah.
Guys, welcome to the episode.
Yeah. Wait. But there was like a bit of some corruption in it.
Calvin, we want to get arrested. We know we're saying we know we're saying we want to talk about a lot of things.
So they stopped me, yeah?
Again, for the third time.
Third time, because the second time when they stopped me, like I was like, did you pay your ticket? So I'm like, my guy, you arrested me. Where's the truck? Come here, that truck right there. That's what. And then they started laughing. It's like, okay, man, you can go. You give me my license. And then the third time, they had another roadblock and they pulled me over. Obviously, I was actually.
I hope these roadblocks are to find my Polo, man.
Hey, you know what?
I'm missing. Looks at my desk. My desk has expired, but we actually So I just don't have that desk on me. So we still have 21 days for like just to drive. Okay, fine. I booked this. I went and I keep this expired. I'm like, okay, fine. It's like, yeah, so nigga tickets. I'm like, how? But I have like 21 days, whatnot. She's like, can you jump out the car? I'm like, okay, cool. I jump out the car.
Yeah.
I jump out. I walk with her through the cars, bro, all the way to the back. We get there, she's like, yeah, it's probably this guy. I'm like, oh, what about this 21 days?
Throughout this walk, you haven't said anything, you haven't said what's
No, I'm just laughing. I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
And then we got to the back and I'm like, what about this 21 days thingy? And then she's like, no, let me explain this to you.
Oh.
And then she takes out the paper, the ticket paper, whatever. She puts it on her lap. She's like, okay, 21 days doesn't apply to us, the police. It only applies at the licensing, because if you don't like do your thing, then they'll put penalties or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm like, oh, okay, so I messed up. Yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. She's like, okay, should I write the ticket? I'm like, yeah. Okay. And then so they awkward started, yeah, okay.
Then they do a conversation.
Yeah, like, yeah, okay, you can write the ticket. He's like, oh, okay. I'll finish with police, and then I'm like, yeah, if I would say I messed up and I'm in the wrong side of the law, then I guess it's right for you to write the ticket, or give me the ticket or whatever. And she's like, walk with me. So I walk on the pavement, and she's walking on the road.
Oh my God.
And then she's like, why are you walking so far?
Come
down here.
close.
Wait, this is a lady.
Yes.
Come close. Let us talk.
It's very mad. We're walking back to the car. Now, I thought when we were going to the back, he's going to write the ticket. Now she's had the book and everything, and we're walking back to my car now. So we're walking, and then she's like, no, come down.
Hey.
Like, come down. She's like, hey, what's wrong? I'm like,
shut down,
I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, tall, light skin
man. Bro, big man. At that moment, like, I was literally, I was like out of it. I was like, Like, I was sick of the entire thing.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, what's wrong with her? Like, oh, when we kala ngami. Like, and then she's like, again, and then she repeats again.
Oh my gosh.
Police out saying, like, I'll cut police. And then I'm like, oh, I go mnyama. I just said it, like, I go mnyama, that is a fantastic, not too small. Because I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm too mnyama, I'm too small. And he's like, oh, I'm bad. He's like, yeah, you threw me. And she's like, oh, okay. Then she gave me the license, like, God, they didn't need that.
Oh my.
Yo.
All of that. How much
Bro.
time did she waste?
Bro.
Sure, you were like.
Trying
But
to
then,
luck.
I think like, she couldn't give me the ticket. Or she gave me the ticket. I was going to go to licensing and she was going to get in trouble. That's for sure. 'Cause
Yeah.
everything was going to be on the details.
Shata, do you
I
think
feel
you'd
like
make a lot of money if you were doing this job?
Definitely. What do you mean?
Bro.
Do you think men or women make more money? You know.
No,
I
I
think
think
men.
men. I also think men.
Ah,
They're
men
more
make-
intimidating.
Yeah. See, the guys, because the guys
They're
can
unafraid.
really make it look like
Yeah,
you were
they
about
show
to go
you.
to
Yeah.
jail now.
And they're going to write it. Like,
Yeah.
they're going to write it.
Yeah.
And usafika.
Yeah.
I couldn't now, and you respond, oh, yeah, couldn't That's where they start.
So
Yeah.
intimidating.
You think of the woman, if you explain your story enough, it's gonna be like, hey, what's
I
that?
feel like with especially like a old lady or something. Like I feel like you can.
Parundanga.
When I
when she was asking for a date,
already you
right?
called your
Ah.
poor guy and
That
then
lady was,
yeah.
he was like, you were
Oh,
told
you,
that's a
if
water.
you
not
said,
thirsty.
hey, you look really nice. Literally.
First of all,
Oh, she was asking for a
First
date.
of all, I was just fed up with this whole thing. I tell you that you and I'm a person looking because it was the third
Oh,
time.
wait.
It was the
Were
third
you
time.
on a date with the person in the car?
No.
Maybe that's why he said
No.
no.
Do you see how he paused? Did you see how he I know Calvin is like.
Who was in the car?
Who was in the car, Calvin?
Why are you asking about the person in the car?
Who-
Someone at the front of the direction.
No, but we want to get a full
wanna get
idea.
a full
Because
understanding.
she might have been pissed at the fact that there's
Someone in the car, whereas
you
she
know?
could have
That's
had
why she
a
moved
tall
you.
Yeah,
glass
she
of
was like,
water
guys, let me take him
because
away.
she was
from-
thirsty.
Take you away.
Yeah.
Take you away. Oh, hell.
Oh, she was smart though. If that's what she was doing, she's good.
But like, yeah, man.
No, she's good.
I'm usually doing it like that. Get them on twin guys.
And who was in the car again?
A friend of mine.
Oh.
Is it a female
Was it you,
friend?
man?
No, I wasn't in the car. Were you guys going to buy some shit? Were you in the
No? Is
car?
it a female
Yeah,
friend?
it's a friend of mine. A female friend.
Oh, okay.
Please comment their female friend. 'cause
Yeah, just say
clearly we don't
hi.
know who you
You
are.
know,
So
we
would like to
maybe
you.
know
I would like
who
to
you
know
are,
who
you know,
who you are friend's friend.
you are friends. So we
You
are
wanna be
friends.
friends?
Yeah, we are friends.
So please comment.
Just
there.
say hi. Yeah, what's up? You know, it's just. You know what? In fact, it's already nice to meet you in advance. It's already nice to meet you in advance.
We
Yeah.
can't wait to see you face to face.
Yeah, that's
Say
what
that
it's
there in the
mean.
comment section. Just
Yeah.
put that hand up, that lady hand up, and does this with those.
We'll know it's you. We'll know it's you.
But Vince, we're gonna do a long episode today. And for everyone that's watching, myself and Asanda Slaughter every Wednesday, 12 to 1 p.m. at Underground Radio, live radio, music there, crazy topics. We're always having a good time there. So that's why we had to rush out. We're gonna be.
Oh yeah. Also, hey,
The way I just
Slaughter,
slotted
guys.
it in.
We have Asanda Slaughter in the background.
Yeah, I'm slaughtering the black
Yeah.
one.
She's Slaughter famous here.
Asanda Slaughter.
Slaughter.
Wow. Can we try again? Asanda Slaughter.
Slaughter.
We gotta work on that one.
Flinter.
But yeah, man, I want to know what's happening, man. Please let us know what's happening with
This guy. Yeah.
with that
So,
post, bro.
real quick, something called Creative Qatar. Shout out to UVK. People always, he does some dope stuff. Hey, this man was shooting DJ Khaled a couple weeks ago. I mean, yeah, man. But he's created a community, which I think is dope. I think anything that you create nowadays is to always strive towards making it a community, and that's what's going to give it longevity. So Creative Qatar is basically bringing a few creators from Durban that are doing dope things in the film and photography space, or in the media or creative entrepreneurship space, should I say. Overall, it's happening at Legacy Yard in Mhlanga. It's actually tonight. It's today, Wednesday. It's actually tonight. From, I think, 6:30 to 7. Should start 7 promptly. And I'm going to be having a conversation there about the work that I do, but also just how I see the creative
Is
space.
it open to everybody? Like, what is it? Like, do you buy tickets or is it just
No,
like
it's actually free. You just RSVP on the link and you should be able to come through. But I think it's a dope initiative because KZN has a lot of people that are doing great things from a creative point of view. Even though it was slightly niched down, it's open to everyone. And it's just nice to see and hear of people's perspective in terms of what do they look at, how do they get to where they are in terms of how they create, and just their visions in terms of what they want to continue to create in the future. So yeah, I think it's quite dope.
Nah, so this happens because I know this happened before.
It happened before. Actually, I think this is the second one. The last one happened either beginning of the year, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was earlier on this year. So I hope that he's going to continue to do more. I know that he's also launching some courses in terms of people that want to, enhance their skills in different things. So I know it'll range maybe something from a podcast course to a beauty fashion course if you want to learn how to photograph that, to a video space. How can you be more creative in the video work that you create, either for your brand or for the brands that you work with? Because it's two ways now. That's the nice thing about the creative space. You're either working on your own personal brand or you creating stuff for other people's brands, which I think widens the conversation. Like I was saying at the beginning of the episode, those people who thought I was dumb for holding a camera in high school.
Look at me now.
So I actually think that's quite dope. You also hosting on the creative side of things, KZN Dance Camp?
KZN Dance Camp.
What edition is this? This is like... It's been added. What edition is this?
I think this is like our fifth
edition.
Anniversary. Yeah, it's gonna be.
It's nice.
It's gonna be at Gateway, Unity Performing Arts, full day. Kind of switched it up this time around. We're gonna add a couple of games. The whole point of KZN Dance Camp is to it's like how you guys in the film industry are collaborating, coming together. It's for the dance scene to come together. But this is like from everybody in different levels. This is from the beginner to your professional choreographers.
Okay.
It's either the professional choreographers are coming through to share of their experience, or they're coming to also just learn and dance. Then the beginners are just also finding out. Like, it's nice to know who is doing what in the scene, especially doing the same thing as you, so that
that's true.
You guys can collaborate. You guys can support each other. When one of you is going to be representing the city one day, you know who that person is.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing when you see somebody, you're like, hey, who's that? That person just now won A, B, and C, but you all have no idea who that is. Do you even support them? We can't even as a city,
That's happened so often, eh?
Huh?
That's happened so often.
Exactly, man.
So,
because then Dance Camp is literally like the space to do that, as much as there's going to be workshops, but it's really a place for people to like get to know who's who,
Is there like a slot for battle number one?
I create day 2 of battles.
Let's go, bro.
Day 2 is battles, so we can have you guys going here to
I'm calling you out.
Me?
Let's go, bro. I have about 2 days to lab. I have about 2 days.
2 days to lab.
Yeah, I'm sure I can brush up something by then.
Whoever wants that pan
Is it?
Can get it. American, African.
Everybody can.
We should have a throwback session. If you have a month to prepare, would you think it'd be good?
Sure,
well, yeah. Even the back will just be like.
About a month, bro.
A month.
A month to prepare.
Short, man. For
no,
you can't do it.
No.
Though.
Come on, bro. You can.
A month, bro. You can.
You can.
Yeah.
In a month, bro.
Do it,
Call back everybody who's working, started their families.
You able to do it like in a month?
A month is too much.
Actually,
why not?
Actually, that's a good.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's have.
Why not?
Let's have a session. We're gonna have a session. Throwback session. Bring out Back Kingdom leaders.
Oh yeah, BK.
Back Kingdom leaders.
KR.
Wow.
Please. Let's do it, actually. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's have a session.
Let's have a throwback session.
Post it up.
We'll post it up. That'll be
And now
good.
you can collab with more than 3 people on Instagram, eh?
Exactly.
It's maximum 3 or what?
I don't know if there is a maximum, but it's more than one.
But now all my photos see you guys.
Yeah, we'll post, yeah.
Umagwenze njani iphi njengayiphi?
Off camera.
No, it's because you know why? Like you see, people like Mohan's Instagram is super clean. Like you can tell.
It's not actually. It used to be.
Things are a certain quality, they're done in a certain way. So I don't want to get there now. Oh, now I'm like the.
Now
the
when people
go to your profile, they're like, "Oh, who's this now? What's going on here?" Exactly. You know. But he,
Guys, this is what they do.
gives me
They
the
make
go
up
ahead,
stuff that makes no
if
sense
he gives me the go ahead,
to make it look like I'm the problem.
But
To make it look like I'm the
but
problem.
if you give me the go ahead, I can call that.
he would.
You know?
He would.
Take it
a
off the
yes?
grid.
Is that a yes?
I'm not going to answer this because we already have stuff that's already collaborated. It's too late to use me as a fallback man and throw me under the bus.
Then you have this man that doesn't post for a whole year, but I don't know.
Calvin just goes
You
to
don't even know
Instagram to
if you read-
stalk.
You're probably never going to accept. Do you even know where do you accept if someone collaborates with you?
Sure, that's such
That's
a
because
good
you guys
question.
haven't collaborated with him.
Thank you, Sada. Thank you.
What deal do you all have on the side? Why don't you defend it?
Why don't you defend that?
Why don't you
Show
why
him
don't you
the
defend it?
button. Show him the button, guys. Show him the button.
Thank you.
Try it.
Thank you. Try it.
Set up and apart. This is recording. Don't defend Kelvin.
That's it.
That's like Calvin Gena, actually. He's the one that's always on our case.
That is a lie.
Calvin uses Instagram for girls, soccer,
Yeah.
and poetry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen his feed?
Have you seen his? Yeah.
Have you seen any girls in the feed?
Do you know?
Have you seen any girls in the feed though?
I
Oh
don't.
yeah, you guys were speaking about a trick the other day.
What
that
trick?
you
What
do.
trick?
Whoa.
No, I mean,
All right, yo, okay, you know.
He was speaking about When he was
If
speaking
there's
about
no trick,
No.
then
What
we
trick was
know.
coming? You have to
Okay,
say
let me
what trick was coming talking about.
Guys, we are literally out of time.
Honestly,
Honestly, we're out of time.
No, what
We have
trick?
to prepare for the show. Right.
Now I know that they
Guys,
told you a trick.
Thank you so much
What's
for
the
tuning
trick? What's the
in.
trick?
Subscribe. Don't forget to click
People
that
are going to be
notification
disappointed
button.
not hearing
Don't
this
forget to
trick.
subscribe
In
as
the
well.
next episode.
No.
the
Don't
trick.
forget to tune in on Underground Radio as well.
Thank you for
12
watching.
to 2 p.m.
We don't do cliffhangers here. Please share the trick.
Guys are amazing.
Till next time.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
Kids and John's Camp.
Share the trick. No.
Let's go.
Share the trick. Share the trick.
Bye.
Shut up. Kuluma.
He didn't tell me the specific trick, like what to do. He said,
Yay.
he said it didn't. I
That's
don't know what it is.
Oh.
I didn't tell me what the trick was. They didn't say what the trick was.